Matthew Cullen was outnumbered, but he was not a man who gave up easily. He was not a man who worried about making friends. He was a man with very strong thumbs, and he could go all night if he had to. But now, what was he?
What? Oh, no.
The battle was over for now. But Matthew Cullen would be back after breakfast.
Nice.
Yeah, should have been here at sunrise. It was stunning.
So what have we got?
Large blood spill, no body. Got a knife and a footprint.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm interested to know if someone could have lost that amount of blood and survived, or if we're looking at a murder scene.
Gonna be one of those days, isn't it?
Breakfast was his biggest challenge. As his father used to say,
breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Matt searched the cupboards, but it was no good. He realised he wouldn't be able to put it off any longer. Matt would have to go to the shops.
So?
Can I see the knife?
Yeah, Angela, can we have a look at the knife, please? It looks like the attacker got disturbed and dropped it. I see far too many of these for my liking.
Yeah, it looks a bit like the kind of blade used on Reece Lonsdale.
That's what I thought. It's definitely gang-related.
Thank you. Of course, it depends on where they were stabbed and whether the victim was able to apply pressure, get to hospital quickly. They could have survived.
Fingers crossed. I'm calling the hospitals now.
Cullen knew he was being followed. Knew it like he knew how to breathe. But who were they? And how do they know his secret? Secrets. Everybody had them. Take the woman who walked towards him now. She looked pretty normal. But Cullen knew she had a large collection of anatomically correct garden gnomes and a poodle named Mrs. Thatcher. He knew, and she knew he knew, that she wasn't a threat to him. Then there was Mr. Personality here. Cullen was told never to judge a book by its cover. But when a book was bound in that much muscle and bad attitude, it was hard not to. Cullen kept his head down, and before I knew it, he'd arrived. Cullen knew what to do. Grab the stuff and get out, quick as you like, easy. He'd done this before. Except these things had a way of getting complicated. And if he stayed too long, someone would notice. Cullen couldn't afford to be noticed. There, the first part was in place. Carry on like this, and I'll be done in no time. There he was. Mr. Personality. Clearly he was waiting for him. Cullen would have to wait. But for how long?
Oh, Mrs. Tembo, your VPAS meeting this morning.
Yes, I have read the patient file and spoken to Dr. Granger about Mr. Cullen.
Okay, good. Well, I know that Daniel has kept him on the antidepressants and that his social anxiety is a lot less, and that's good considering.
Of course, but he has missed a few appointments.
Yes, I know. It's also the first time he's lived alone.
Well, I have met Mr. Cullen before. I'm sure if there's a problem, he will talk to me.
Good. Thanks, Mrs. Tembo.
It's just this way. Oh, sorry. Actually, my boyfriend's supposed to be here. Right, well, Valerie will show him through when he gets here. OK?
Cullen was on a knife edge. Someone was chasing him. And Mr. Personality's job was to keep him there until reinforcements arrived. Every second he stayed was a risk. Finally, Cullen could take it no longer. He decided to run. He decided to run.
Oi!
Inspector?
What you found? Is that blood?
Looks like maybe the victim came this way, put their hand up to steady themselves.
It should give us an ID, in case the victim's not feeling too chatty.
With any luck.
Angela?
Matt was safe now. Or was he? Matt knew he would never be safe. Matt had been running from the day he could walk. Matt knew his next mistake could be his last. Matt had no idea what was about to happen.
I haven't seen you in a while, have I?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. You're here now. So, 32 weeks. Are you still living with your dad? Are you going to stay with him once the baby's born, or are you going to be living with your boyfriend?
Living with my boyfriend, probably.
Probably?
Oh, yeah, we haven't found somewhere yet, but we will.
Okay. I bet your dad's really excited, isn't he? He just know, doesn't he, Lil?
Not exactly.
Right, but he'll be excited?
No, throw me out.
Are you sure that he hasn't noticed, Lil?
Well, when I come home from school, he's either at work or crashed out, and I just wear baggy hoodies all the time. Luckily, my bump's not very big, so... Is that okay?
Yeah, well, some women just aren't big, you know. So how is school and all of that stuff?
Yeah, I don't really hang out anymore.
Does that mean that you don't really have anyone to talk to about all of this?
No, I've got my boyfriend.
Yeah, of course.
Good morning, Mr. Cullen.
Mrs. Timber, please come in.
Did you forget I was coming?
Matt had forgot she was coming.
Sorry, Mrs. Tembe. I had a late night.
It had been a while since Matt had had a visitor.
Well, this is a very nice flat.
Sorry about the mess.
Do not worry. I am not here to judge, just to have a chat and see how you are getting on.
I'm fine.
Matt was going to offer her a cup of tea, but then he realised he didn't have any milk or any tea.
So, how are you settling in, Mr. Cullen?
Matt remembered she used to call him Matthew.
Matthew.
Of course. Have you met any of your neighbours yet, Matthew?
Some of them. They seem okay.
Matt knew she was here because he had missed some doctor's appointments. She wanted answers.
Is everything all right?
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Good.
Hello.
Will you a cup of...
Oh, thank you. I'm still twiddling my thumbs for England. How about you?
Yeah, working on a knife crime.
Hey, look, we've ID'd our victim. Craig Benz went to school with Reese Lonsdale.
Really?
Yeah, they've kept him at St Phil's and one more over there now. Good work with the print.
Right. Better get back to it then.
Yeah, me too.
Agent Cullen had been interrogated many times before
So, what about meals?
by men and women more frightening than Mrs. Tembe.
Do you cook yourself, or is it mostly ready meals?
But she was smart. She knew the right questions to ask.
No, I cook. Yeah, Dad showed me.
It was only a matter of time before she uncovered his secret. And what a secret it was.
Well, that is very good. There is nothing like a home-cooked meal. So, it must be quite a shock. Living on your own for the first time? You said you had a late night. What time do you normally go to bed? If you are sleeping late, perhaps that is the reason why I am so sorry. Would you mind turning this down a little?
Sorry, I can't.
It is quite intrusive.
If I turn it down, I won't be able to listen.
To the music?
To you!
Is everything all right?
I'm fine. I just can't hear with him talking all the time.
Him?
Austin, what are you doing here?
Patient confidentiality, innit?
What, you're a patient here?
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Loose lips sink ships.
Okay.
It's all right. Thanks for coming to the funeral. You didn't have to do that.
I wanted to.
Thank you. Come in.
Austin!
Sorry, babe. The bus was so slow, it was going backwards.
This is my boyfriend, and this is Rima.
What did I miss?
Nothing much. Lil was just saying that Dad doesn't know yet. So, what about your folks, Austin?
There's my mum. She's gonna freak when I tell her. Not like Lily's dad, though. But there's no way she can deal with this right now.
Okay. Okay, well, we can talk about that later. Now that you're here, there is something that I need to talk to you both about.
Okay.
I don't think that the baby is growing as well as we'd expect, at this stage.
What do you mean?
Well, it might not mean anything, but I would like you to see a doctor today.
Here?
Yeah, if you've both got time.
Yeah, we've got time, yeah.
Okay. Now, Lil, your notes say that you smoke.
Yeah.
Are you still smoking? Okay. When you're pregnant, smoking, it can harm your baby, and it can affect your health as well.
Is that why?
Well, let's see what the doctor says, yeah? If you want, I can refer you to the NHS Stop Smoking scheme.
I want to stop, I do.
All right.
So, when you say you hear voices,
Matt wasn't interested in answering her questions.
do you mean your neighbors from next door?
Not my neighbour.
So these voices are in your head.
She was getting too close.
So how long has this been going on?
Matt wasn't going to answer that question.
A month?
So since you moved in here?
He wondered what she was writing in her folder.
If I made you an appointment to see Dr. Granger, would you attend?
Matt knew that this was a bad idea.
I'm fine.
What about a home visit?
No.
Matt was worried they'd put him in a hospital and not let him out again.
We need to make the voices stop.
I don't want that.
It could be something very simple. Dr. Granger could have a look
I
at
don't
you.
want the voice to stop. It's my dad.
What about you, Austin? Have you told Carleen?
I'll tell her when we have to. If it's a boy, that might be good. She might like that. But if I tell her now, it's...
I won't say anything. Loose lips could get me struck off.
Austin told me about you.
Don't let that put you off.
No, you tried to save Reese. He says that you're going to put his killer in prison.
Well, I won't be doing that personally.
No, but you're going to tell everyone what you saw. And that takes guts, man.
It's just what anyone would do.
Not from round our way. Everyone keeps their mouths shut, even though they know it's going to happen again and again.
I haven't done anything yet.
No, but you will. That's amazing.
What does he say to you?
Matt remembered how Mrs. Tembe had been kind to him when his dad went in to see the doctor. Perhaps she wasn't so bad.
All sorts of things. It's like he's telling a story about me and describing what I'm doing.
So, like a narrator?
He always used to read to me. It's my first memory. Dad reading me The Cat in the Hat, doing all the voices. Because it was just me and him. He saved all his books from when he was little, and he said he couldn't wait to share them with me when I was old enough. Narnia, The Lord of the Rings.
Matt always forgot about Harry Potter.
And Harry Potter. Although he was a bit grown up when he read those.
It must have been wonderful.
Yeah. And he was still doing it. I mean, like, even last year, before he got sick, we read A Farewell to Arms, Ernest Hemingway, you know?
I do.
It's great. It's like this big action movie, you know, there's this guy caught in the middle of the war, and he gets blown up, but he escapes on a boat, and he meets this nurse, and it's funny sometimes. It's really, really funny, yeah. Until it's not. Until she dies at the end in the hospital. It's nice having Dad talk to me. Except sometimes it can be a bit distracting, like when I go out. Sometimes I hear him saying what I'm about to do before I do it, and that's a bit weird. Like this morning in the shop, I didn't want to run, but I had to.
Run from what?
Matt knew he shouldn't tell her, but somehow he couldn't stop.
Sometimes people look at me and I get stressed. And sometimes Dad will tell me what they're thinking about me and I don't want to hear that, so I don't go out. And that's why I miss my appointments.
I see.
It just feels like I keep messing up. All I needed was milk, and now you're here and you're writing notes, and sometimes Dad will say things, and I know it's not the right thing, but I find myself doing it anyway, and if I start talking to doctors, then I'll lose the flat.
I'm sure that will not be the case.
It will!
It will?
They'll put me in hospital. And Dad said to me before he died, he said, "You'll be okay." He said I could cope, and I'm scared I'm getting it wrong. I'm scared I'm gonna let him down, that I'm gonna fail my dad.
I am going to refer you to the antenatal unit, just to double check.
See? I told you it'd be okay.
Can you remind me of your due date?
Oh, Christmas Day.
Well, it's good to have a memorable date. My son was almost born on Valentine's Day. Have you been to any antenatal classes?
One, with a mate. Austin couldn't make it.
Just one?
Yeah, it was really boring.
Well, look, I know what you mean, but they are useful. It is worth sticking with them. If you go to one nearby, you get to meet other mums. Do you know where you're going to be living? Well, have you had any thoughts about how you want to have your baby? In the hospital or at home?
Oh, I can't have it at home. My dad will go nuts.
Okay, that's a start. Why don't I fetch Rumour and we can chat about it some more?
What you are experiencing is not unusual. Many people imagine they can hear the voices of their loved ones in the months after their death.
Really?
You know, I have a friend from church. When her husband passed away, she would go down to the garden shed and talk to him.
What did she say?
Just ordinary things. Just about her day or the garden. He was a very keen gardener. You know, sometimes she would read from the newspaper to him, like she used to do. My point is, I never thought there was anything wrong with her except that she was grieving.
Okay.
And your father did not mean for you to cope all by yourself. That is why it is important that you ask for help from Dr. Granger or from any of us. Look, you mentioned that you did not manage to finish your shopping. Would it help if I came with you?
Yeah, but it's not that simple.
Hello, Craig. How you doing? I'm D.I. Stanton. Yeah, fair enough. That's usually where I lose the room. Listen, mate, you're not in any trouble. I just need to talk to you about what happened last night.
I've got nothing to say to you.
The doctor I work with said you did exactly the right thing. Kept the pressure on, came straight here, smart lad. So why don't you tell me who did this to you, so we can stop it happening to someone else?
I didn't see, okay?
Really? They stabbed you in the gut and you didn't see?
He had a mask.
Maybe. Anything else you remember? Type of trainers he was wearing? Any tattoos? You knew Reese Lonsdale, right?
What of it?
No, I get it. You're scared. I would be in your position. But you know the best way to stop being
Shut up,
scared?
will you?
Craig, just give us a name. Just tell me who did this. So
Shut up! You've got no idea. Even if I did see something, I wouldn't tell you. They'd kill me.
It's fine. Mr. Volk was very understanding.
Thanks, Mrs. Tembe.
Right. Now, where shall we start?
Sure, the list looked innocent enough. But Cullen knew it was actually some kind of code. The question was, would he be able to crack it?
Matthew? I didn't finish telling you about my friend now, did I? Well, a few months after her husband passed away, there was a cold spell. She didn't go down to the shed so often. And one day when she went back, she could not hear her husband's voice anymore.
What happened?
Perhaps it was just time for her to let go.
I'll get the milk.
Right. Well, I will get the tea and sugar.
It was quiet. Too quiet. As soon as he'd done it, Cullen knew he'd made a mistake. The silent alarm had been activated. He only had seconds to get out. Cullen knew he couldn't waste any more time. Mrs. Tembe would only slow him down.
Matt knew he didn't really have to go.
Cullen knew he couldn't trust anyone, even
Matt knew
himself.
he didn't have to listen to the voice anymore. He didn't have to listen to
Cullen
anyone
knew he'd
but
been
himself.
compromised.
La, la, la,
Cullen didn't know what was
la,
real
I'm
anymore.
not listening.
Cullen was lost.
I'm not listening anymore, Dad.
He was lost.
I don't need to listen.
Matthew.
Sorry, Mrs. Tembe. Listen.
What am I listening to?
Nothing. He's gone.
Yes? Well, that is good. That is very good.
Yeah.
Right, well, there are still a few things that we need to find.
Okay.
You're a smart lad, Craig. You can go to college, get away. You can do that.
Great. What about my dad, and my sister, my auntie, and my cousins? Do we all get to go?
What if we could have this gang shut down for good? We've got other witnesses.
What do you need me for, then?
What about Reese? Do you think he deserved what happened to him? And what makes you think you can go back to them again anyway? How long do you think you'll last before it happens again? Craig, what are you going to do when you leave this hospital?
I can't risk it.
Okay. If you change your mind.
Hey, how do you know Austin? Is he a patient?
It's complicated.
Right. He's a nice lad.
He is.
Sorry, I'm going to have to call social services.
It's a shame.
I'm just not confident Lily's going to get the support she needs at home.
I agree.
And Austin's home situation, it sounds really precarious from what I can work out.
I know his mother. They're going through a tough time.
Right, well, there you are then. We'd have to tell social services anyway. She's under 16.
They are so young. And they're going into this without any preparation.
I'm sure they'll be fine. It's just a safety net.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
He can hear what, sorry?
His father's voice. He used to read to him before he passed away. I think he draws comfort from it.
If he's hearing voices, whoever they are, then that's something that needs to be addressed.
Well, I think he's anxious that he may be hospitalized. I'm sure it will not come to that. And he does say that the voices have stopped.
Well, how do you know that? Or that he's not lying? Or that if the voices do come back, they might tell him to do something dangerous? I mean, the idea of these visits is that we check on vulnerable people and gather information not make decisions about treatment.
Yes. Yes, Dr. Granger. I have arranged for Mr. Callum to come and see you this week.
I'd like to see him tomorrow, please.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Dad? Dad? Dad, please, are you there?
It's okay, Matt.
Dad?
You're gonna be okay, son. It'll take a little time. You're gonna be fine. You've got this.
Thanks, Dad.
He go to the hospital.
He didn't want to talk.
How can you blame him?
Honestly, no. Luckily, we have our star witness for the Lonsdale murder and she's not so easily scared.
Yeah, actually, I know Zara.
Same practice, right?
Yeah. Does she know what she's letting herself in for?
Yeah, she's fine. She's not from that world. She never gave her name out.
Right.
Plus, she don't seem the type who's easily bossed around. She's pretty tough, right?
Yeah, she is.
There you go. Job done.
Jealous.
Yeah, we have Joe, we have Isabel, and you're reduced to borrowing people's children because you have none of your own.
You haven't aged a day. All these years, not a single wrinkle.
Yes, I do have good genes.
Did you know you've got rats? A bed so big